So, a security chief is citing poor telecommunication networks as a major challenge in the fight against banditry in Kerio Valley. Not just some small-time security chief, but the Rift Valley Regional Commissioner, Maalim Mohammed, who is saying poor communication is hurting prompt response by multi-agency security forces. He was speaking during a tour of Kirima and Laikipia West sub-counties. He says the poor network is a major challenge in parts of Laikipia, Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo. In the past attacks, residents in the rural areas expressed frustration in reaching out to security teams during attacks as some have to cover long distances to find network to call the cops. Mohammed says the local communication service providers need to help improve the situation. The regional boss said the police are investigating claims that some government workers are facilitating the bandits. Tisk tisk. Our officers have fought off the criminals several times. The kind of sustained engagement with our well-trained and armed officers is raising eyebrows. The question is where the criminals are getting guns and bullets. Mohammed said in the past 2 months, the security team has arrested 15 criminals and recovered 5 guns. They were sharing the guns, but they're heavily armed. Or what? I don't understand. 15 criminals, 5 guns. The criminals have been charged with incitement, arson, illegal firearm possession, and malicious damage to property. They have recovered 2 AK-47s, 2 G3s, and 1 M16. He was also saying that efforts of digging trenches at strategic points near the Laikipia Nature Conservancy are ongoing. The multi-agency team is digging trenches to create a buffer zone between the community and the criminals, with 21 kilometers of the targeted 24 kilometers of a trench completed. This is Laikipia. We know about Kerio Valley. We know about this marauding gang that even just comes out and sees a yellow bus. Everybody in this country, you see a yellow bus, you know this is a school bus. See a yellow bus, open fire. This was that taught.
Yes. Mogil Secondary School attacked by unknown assailants. Students returned from a field trip in Lake Baringo. Lack of political goodwill is what is being cited, and sincerity among elected leaders along the Kerio Valley is to blame for escalating banditry and cattle rustling. The incidents continue claiming hundreds of lives, innocent lives, every year. It is sad that instead of leaders in West Pokot, Baringo, Turkana, Samburu and Elgeyo Marakwet confronting the menace, the blame game is the order of the day whenever cattle rustlers strike. Communities living in the valley have been subjected to untold suffering since no day passes. Imagine, no day passes without someone being killed or livestock being stolen. Not a day. We saw some ugly incidents over the weekend where in certain villages, people were killed without gunshots. This is at a time also when exams were taking place. We had the Kenya National Union of Teachers calling out on the government saying, how are we going to do this? How are we going to administer these exams when we are not even sure about the security situation? Insecurity caused by cattle raids and banditry has impacted negatively on the socioeconomic growth of pastoralists in the region, despite the presence of hundreds of security personnel. The region has suffered an increase of widows and widowers, orphans, while poverty levels have been skyrocketing. North Rift leaders the other day want the military deployed in Kerio Valley. They spoke a day after bandits killed more than 6 people and injured 6, rather killed 2 people and injured 6 in Elgeyo Marakwet. In 8 months, bandits have killed more than 120 people in Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, West Pokot, Samburu, and parts of Turkana. And what are they saying? You know, this is what we've been doing all this time, is we've had kiddie gloves on to deal with this situation. Now, you know what? According to them, asking President Uhuru Kenyatta, deploy the military in the valley to tame the runaway insecurity. They also want the president to form a task force or cabinet subcommittee as a matter of urgency to deal with the insecurity. According to Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei, the leaders demand quick and firm action to end the killings and the lawlessness.
It's a conversation that we know we have here, just like, top level conversation. Oh, there's another attack. Some people have died. We keep reminding ourselves that whenever you hear there's an attack, it is the end of, a very bad day or very bad night. People do not sleep in their homes. People are displaced. Children are not going to school. There's basically an entire disruption of livelihoods. The Kerio Valley Development Authority has said projects worth R1 billion stalled. Why? Because of all this insecurity. And we are talking as if, the regional commissioner, he's new in the area, but he's an administrator nonetheless. He has gone in and just fitted into a structure that goes all the way up to Matiang'i and above him to the president, comes to him and below him to the county commissioners and everybody else below him, the security people, and even the county government. So the information that he has come and found, he has found a file that has information. We cannot be saying, we're investigating it. It's possible that there are some civil servants who could be helping these people. It's really, really baffling how these people are getting armed in this country. We talked about the story the other day of this taxi driver who was hired in Nairobi, taken to Kisii, lured to go towards Kericho, murdered and his body dumped. And there was no clarity of how he ended up here. Police, elite units at DCI, using just telephone data, fished out the boy at KU in a hostel where he was being hidden. Found him there. If police in Kenya want to find you, my friend,
they'll find you.
Dig a hole.
Bury yourself alive.
But find a way of living in the clouds, they will find you.
Go to the moon, they'll
if
find
you like.
But in this particular case of the insecurities in Kerio Valley, in Laikipia, in Baringo, we don't know exactly who's causing these chaos. We don't know who's arming these people. We don't know who's attacking villages and then they disappear with animals. Not until they're putting animals on trucks. They walk away animals, but police cannot find them. And they'll attack another village and go again. Police cannot find them.
And if you understand,
we arrest 15 people today, then we stay another 3 weeks, we arrest 5.
In our security system, you know that intelligence is always available even at the village level. So you cannot argue and even try to put forward the case that they don't know who these people are. They are known.
What are you talking about? If you go into any of these villages as a foreigner, you walk into one of those villages, what do you think was going to happen? There will be whispers.
Yep.
Somebody...
We have a visitor.
Yeah. You would have... By the time an hour has passed, they would have known. Somebody new has come. You mean to tell me now that the intelligence of the country, the intelligence arm of the country, then has no idea who these people are or where they're going?
Our intelligence arm.
That is what you would be had to believe. That is what they would like you to believe, that we are trying our best. We haven't yet found anybody. We've made some arrests here or there. But I keep telling you that this thing is commercial. There is business in conflict. There are people who are benefiting from this. I'm going to be bold as to go ahead and say it, because you cannot tell me that for almost a decade, these things spring up, they die down, they spring up, they die down, it gets worse, it disappears for some time, people die, we say, oh, how terrible. It goes livestock, because the livelihoods of people being affected over and over again, but we really don't know who is behind it or what's causing it or where we can find these people who would then be able to sing. We don't know where they are.
Not a decade, Ndu.
Man.
More than 4. Since independence Kenya, these people don't know peace. We've been talking about it as if, it's something that is far-flung. We have the victims of what's going on in Kerio Valley with us now in the Situation Room. Timothy Cherop is from Kerio Valley, alongside Neddy Jeruto, who are on the line. Good morning, Timothy.
Good morning to you, sir.
And good morning to you, Jeruto.
Good morning to you too.
Asanteni sana for speaking to us this morning. You live in Kerio Valley. You've been affected by the violence that has been there. Timothy, hebu tuambie wewe kwenu ni wapi?
Mimi natoka upande ya Kerio Valley, Aror 1.
Aror.
Where it was attacked on Sunday.
Okay. And Jeruto, where are you from?
I'm from Kaben location in the Endo ward.
Mm-hmm.
Ukiona mahali maafa mingi inafanyika,
Yeah.
and it's the border between the Elgeyo Marakwet County and West Pokot County.
So both these areas that you come from have been affected by the violence. Timothy, there was an attack in your area over the weekend. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, we had an attack on Sunday. People were on attack. You really know that Sunday is a calm day where people go to worship.
Yes.
And a number of bandits, around 80 armed bandits, came to a place called Koitilial. Maybe to explain to you the Koitilial and its environment.
Yeah.
Koitilial is a small center within Aror ward.
Mm-hmm.
And it is nearing the Kapkama Kaponon irrigation scheme, one of the biggest irrigation schemes in Kerio Valley.
Uh-huh.
And it has Koitilial Polytechnic.
Mm-hmm.
It has Koitilial Secondary School,
Mm-hmm.
where candidates are currently being KCSE exam.
Uh-huh.
So the attack came, and those bandits, it is one of the worst because the earlier attacks have been happening below the road. There have never been a situation where they have come to the center. But this one happened that the bandits had the courage to come all the way from the river Kerio
Uh-huh.
to the marketplace, and they killed 2 people and injured 6 people who are now receiving medication in MCA in Eldoret and our county referral hospital in Ike.
Did they take away anything?
Yeah, they took around, they took cattle, a large number of cattle. Still up to now, around over 600 cattle are now disappearing.
Timothy, so 80 people attack a center, and this is a busy center. It has a polytechnic, it has a secondary school, it has obviously shops and businesses, and there are people living there. Was there any warning at all? Did you people know that was there a build-up to the attack on Sunday? Had something happened on Friday, Saturday?
No, obviously, what we know is that along Kerio Valley, there has been attacks. So people are always vigilant. You know, in living in Kerio Valley, you can be killed anytime.
That is how you live your life.
Yeah, because it is one of the easiest way of dying actually in Kenya. Because if you are from Kerio Valley, you can die anytime without even any warning.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but you realize again that because life must continue.
Yeah.
We just take vigilance and then normal activities continue. So that because again there's a lot of starvation because now it's a dry season. And people are battling with a lot of issues in life, so they have to continue. But the issue of a warning, we never get a warning, because if we get a warning that there will be attack, we normally run away and escape to the other sides of the Kerio Valley escarpment.
Joseph, I want to ask a question, if I may. Yeah?
Yes.
There are reports that one reads in the paper sometimes, and they want to present the situation you're telling us about as a conflict between 2 communities, where one community attacks another one and the other one retaliates. Is it what we're seeing here, or are we talking about an external force that attacks everybody?
Now, you realize that this issue of insecurity along Kerio Valley has been there for a long time. But when you compare the instant attack and the current one, this one has taken a very different route. Maybe to give you a brief history of how the raids have been happening previously, in between 2000 from 1998 to around 2004.
Yes.
Those were clearly people who came to take away our livestock. The bandits of those days would not at any point kill a child. Neither would they kill a woman. And if by any chance they meet you with cattle and you don't have any arm, they will order you to face the other side and lift your arms up, and then they take away the cattle in a peaceful way. Unless they are encountered by our own boys who might be armed with arrows and other things. But now, when you look at the current bandits, they are no longer interested so much to cattle, because we have had situations where students have been killed. We had the recent incident of Mokil Secondary School pass, which was shot in between a road. And we are told it took one of the students from our neighboring community who was inside the pass to speak a language that the bandits would understand. Then the bandits did not continue attacking the students.
So this time then...
And then I would ask you, what is the relationship between a school pass, and cattle?
Sure.
So you realize that these ones are not interested with cattle, are not more interested with cattle. At the same time, also, we have had incidences where women and children have been killed in their chamber. So you realize that the pattern has taken a different way. So this is not an issue to do with maybe cattle rustling or maybe a community conflict. No. Because you realize that the same people who are attacking Marakwet are the same people who are attacking Turkana. They are the same people who are attacking Laikipia. And they are the same people who are attacking Baringo.
It's the same gang.
It's the same gang of people, or are you saying when you say the same people, they're the same people doing the same things, or are you saying the same gang of people who is moving from Marakwet to Turkana to Laikipia? Same gang of people, or the people doing the same thing?
It is the same group of people. Because when Laikipia is attacked, we in Marakwet will have this a little bit. When Turkana Kapedo is attacked, we are not being attacked. Now that Marakwet is being attacked, you will not hear of Laikipia or Kapedo.
Kapedo is calm and Laikipia is calm.
Yeah.
All right, Timothy, thank you. Let's hear from Neddy. Jeruto, you are a local leader, and you've told us your area is also frequently attacked. When was the last time you got attacked?
It was just, in fact, as we speak, we are going to bury a woman who was killed on Thursday last week when we were burying another young gentleman who was also a victim of a criminal bandits from our neighboring community.
Hii attack ya last week, walikuwa watu wangapi waliuliwa?
Which one? The other, it was a young man and and a woman, a lady.
2 people.
Yeah, 2 people. In fact, it happened when we were burying the gentleman.
Aye. So they attacked a funeral?
No, this lady was looking after a cattle, and then the lady was harmless. You know, she was just away, like 100 meters from the road. Yeah, and she was killed.
How many?
And in fact, to make it more worse, the criminals themselves, after they have left with the animals, they called back. They called the community that we have never heard you crying. Can you go and pick that woman we have killed?
Aye. Who did they call?
You know, it is so sad.
Who did they call, Jeruto?
No, you know, these people, they are neighbors. The other time when we had when there was peace, so they were interacting, and now that when the insecurity came in, so they know themselves and they have contacts of different people in that community.
Whoa.
Jeruto, who do you think it is? I mean, we've heard from Timothy. Who do you think this is? Because are we looking at the same situation in your area whereby it's not 2 communities fighting against each other? Is it an external force? What do you think is happening here?
I feel like the government have neglected the people of Kerio Valley. Because how can you allow? It is not, I cannot say it's a community, but it is a group. It's a group of individual criminals, bandits, who are very notorious. Because, and they are coming from, most of these criminals are from Tiat constituency, in Baringo County, and partially they are coming from the West Pokot County. So I feel like the government have not done their work, because where in this world, where in a country where we have laws, we have constitution to protect our life and protect the property, that they can allow terrorists to just do as they feel like. They have killed the people, they have taken property as they wish. Like when we look into the number of animals that we have lost, leave alone more than 100, we have lost more than 100 lives as at now. The number of animals now we have lost a lot of animals along the Kerio Valley, and you can't see them grazing the animals in their area. So the question now is, where do these people take the animals after the raid?
Right.
Because you cannot tell me more than 1,000 animals can just graze in our neighboring
and you wouldn't know.
community.
And even the security people don't know. I mean, they would be traced.
You're saying?
You would know if animals of that number were moved from one place to another. Somebody would see them somehow.
Grazing.
And also, right now, there is a drought. So, they could be moving towards Kerio River. Immediately after raid, those animals are taken away. So, we feel like there is an external force in this insecurity thing.
So when you say taken away, are you implying that they are ferried away? They don't just walk away. They're probably put in vehicles and taken away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think that is what is taking place.
But let me ask another question that has been on my mind. These bandits that we speak of, have you heard of anybody saying that they recognize some of them, that they are people who may be known? Because every part of this country has their own homegrown thugs. Are there perhaps people who are known to be of ill intent, people who are known to be malcontents, or are they complete strangers?
No. At times, some. Some, like when they come, they come and raid. During that time, maybe there is a fight, of course. So in case even one person from that side is killed, they will recognize, and some cannot be recognized.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's some are you're able to identify
some can be identified, and they even know the locations where they come from. And these people, these criminals, they have identified their names.
Yep.
They are given to the authority.
Yep.
But they are failed to arrest them. Because you cannot tell me they can just kill and run away, and we have a government in place and they are just keeping mum.
That's true. Neddy, Jeruto, please stay on the line, and Timothy Cherop as well. We're talking to two people who are in Kerio Valley who are basically victims of the ongoing insecurity in Kerio Valley. It's not a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week. It's been happening for months, insecurity in Kerio Valley. This is the Situation Room on SpiceFM, on KTN Home, and on YouTube and Facebook. Let's take a quick break. We come back and continue with the victims, and also we'll open up the phone lines. I mean, something needs to give in this particular case. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room.
We are talking about the insecurity in Kerio Valley. Joining us are two victims from the area. Timothy Cherop is from Kerio Valley, and Neddy Jeruto is also from the area. Neddy is also, incidentally, a member of the county assembly. Timothy and Neddy, we have, of course, read reports and seen coverage about many security meetings that are held there by the various government agencies. Even the previous regional commissioner, George Natembea, the current regional commissioner, Maalim Mohammed. They've been holding security meetings with the local leaders, talking about how to address this issue. Timothy, when is the last
Yes.
time you attended such a meeting?
Some personally, I haven't attended any of the meetings because most of the meetings they call our area leader.
Yep.
And it is good that Honorable Neddy Jeruto is in the room, so she can speak openly about that. But what I know of the last meeting that was held in Nakuru, where the CS for Interior, Dr. Fred Madiang, was, they agreed that the issue in Kerio Valley solely can be solved by deploying NPR in the area.
This is a National Police
There was
Reservists.
a time when NPR were in Kerio Valley. And that was the time that we, the people of Kerio Valley, enjoyed peace for a little moment. And we even took care of our cattle, and those are the same cattle now that we had in that time that they are now the bandits are taken away now. So one of the issues that I followed up was NPR. Because when we had NPR, there was peace in Kerio Valley. But the NPR were withdrawn because of reasons best known by the government. And up to now, we don't have the NPR in place.
Timothy, why is it important to have the National Police Reservists and not police themselves?
National Police Reservists in Kerio Valley are people who are brought up in Kerio Valley, so they understand the terrain and the environment within Kerio Valley. And some we know, we know how our police officers operate. Somebody from Kilifi or from Nakuru, as a police officer, is deployed to Kerio Valley, a very harsh environment. The person doesn't know or doesn't understand what is happening in Kerio Valley. And the difference between National Police Reservists and police officers is that when there is an attack, our NPR do not need any order to respond.
Okay.
But police officers will have to wait for an order so that they come out of the police station, which is unfortunate. Most of the time they come after we have lost the people. So their only work is to carry the dead using their Land Cruiser.
Wow. Neddy.
So, it is important to have NPR because they understand the environment and they respond immediately.
It's quick to deploy.
Yeah.
Neddy, you've attended these meetings, I presume? Security meetings?
Yeah.
When is the last meeting that you, when and where was the meeting that you last attended?
The last meeting that we've had, it was in Nakuru, whereby the CS, Dr. Fred Madiang, called all the leaders, elected leaders from Baringo County, Elgeyo Marakwet County, and West Pokot County. We deliberated on a number of issues. And the CS promised that he was going to implement. In fact, the first intervention was there was to be an operation, especially to start from areas of Baringo and Marakwet East constituencies, and also the constituency. This one for West Bogo that it is bordering Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Okay.
The core constituency, I mean. So it was on 5th of February, and up to date, we've never seen any action taken, and that is why even the bandits, the criminals themselves, they have understood the government. They are just threatening, and there is no action being taken.
All back and no bite.
Right.
Yeah.
Neddy, even as you think about this, I mean, you've attended the security meetings, you've heard the promises from government, from the CS himself, things that they said they would do. Do you think they know who the perpetrators are? Or are they feeling out in the dark like everybody else?
About the perpetrators, of course, we have the administrative unit. The law is the administrative unit. That they understand who is this person, where is he from which village, from which clan, and they have their names. Because the local leaders, like the chiefs, assistant chiefs, they know these people. So it is only the government that they have not taken the action. In fact, the tax stops at the office of CS. Because how can, I fail to understand that if at all someone can do an attack, like, for example, the Westgate attack.
Yep.
There was a response. The government responded
Immediately.
promptly.
Yep.
Immediately. I don't know why. There was that Westgate attack, and we had also another. It was an attack
14
somewhere in
Riverside.
Mandera, Quarry thing,
Oh, yep.
where they sent a chopper to go and rescue the people. So, how now that in Kerio Valley, the people are being killed, the government are there, they are watching, they are being silent, and I don't think these criminals can overpower the government, because how now? That means there is a hand behind this thing.
So
And that is
the
what-
criminals
how
are being
people-
protected by the government.
Yeah, they are being protected. And these are a government that they took hold of office, that they will protect.
From what you're
The people
thinking
say that.
is, I mean, Neddy, I think even as you say some of these things, I see that maybe you're able to piece them together. If they know who the perpetrators are, number one, they've not been able up until this time to arrest anybody, significant enough to stop these attacks. They know who these people are. Why would they be protecting them? From what you see and what you think, from the chatter
No,
of why would they be protecting them?
Now, I cannot tell, because the reasons are best known to the government. Because we've tried as leaders, we have called for demonstrations, because there are other ways of maybe you are relaying or you are giving out your information to the authorities.
Yep.
Our leaders, as leaders, we have always visited the offices, telling them that this situation in Kerio Valley is worse. You are supposed to arrest the situation. But there is nothing that has been done. We've called for demonstrations. Imagine, even like a mother, killed with her children. She was just harvesting a millet. She was in her farm. And no weapon, nothing. And even that one did not even smoke out the CS himself and come and assist the situation. He has come to Kerio Valley, of course. He has come to Kerio Valley several times. But what is failing is about implementation. They have not, because if I can tell you that among the stopgap measures that the CS told us that day, there was to have a aerial operation beginning tomorrow of that day. That was February 4th.
Yeah.
Recruitment of NPR, deployment of AST, deployment of 5 police stations along that borderline. And they were also supposed to give protection to the schools. In fact, they said they will assign 2 police officers along the schools in Kerio Valley. And up to now,
none of those things has happened.
None of these things has been done.
So no recruitment of NPR, no deployment of police to the schools, no deployment of anti-stock theft police.
No. So, Madam was asking about how see, we as people of Kerio Valley, we have just said the government have left us, they have betrayed us, and we are on our own.
Yeah.
As a community.
Are you part of the people who've petitioned the UN Secretary General to intervene on behalf of the people of Kerio Valley?
When you go even in your YouTube and maybe where these social media platforms,
Yep.
you will not miss this space. Neddy, because that is where I come from.
Yeah.
I feel the pain, and I know what is going on.
It's unfortunate. Neddy, we thank you very much for speaking to us. Neddy Jeruto is an MCA, and Timothy Cherop is the community leader in Kerio Valley. Thank you very much both for speaking to us this morning, and thank you for letting us know what's been happening on the ground. We'll be getting in touch with you.
Before even winding up,
Yep.
at times you are asking Timothy about maybe this is a conflict. I don't think it's a conflict, because conflict arises whereby we have maybe there is a resource that we are fighting for.
Yes.
The boundary of Marakwet, Elgeyo Marakwet County, the Baringo County, and the West Pokot County is distinct. We have nothing like conflict. The only thing that maybe in my point of view is that maybe this Kenya Meat Commission, maybe there are some cartels that they are using the criminals. By the way, I'm not even ashamed to say it is Pokot candidates criminals, because they are known where they are coming from. Though I can't say that all Pokots are bandits, but they are coming from there. And maybe there was an issue about this. You said maybe this is like the Pokots come in. It's like a retaliation attack. But I don't see that is a big issue, because at times maybe it might be a retaliation attack, maybe one or two. The Marakwets have no that as such. Of course, maybe if there is one or two, but it is not that big that cannot be sorted out.
So it's,
where the notorious criminals are from, it is from the Tiati constituency.
Tiati.
And their leaders, we cannot engage their leaders, because someone like their MP, during these meetings, like the local meetings that we've had from Honorable Lochagapong, Kangoka Poen, Honorable Sang, there is nowhere the MP from Tiati is found.
Why?
It is very rare.
Why?
So maybe those who are also on their own. They don't know what is the law, what is this. They can't understand about it. And also that area is not open up. There is no schools. There is no road.
Yeah.
There is no charges. So those people, as much as even we claim that they are doing this contrary to maybe human life or what, but also they don't have the information.
they've been marginalized for many years.
Those people they are also neglected in a way, because if we have no schools, if we have no infrastructure, there is no development in those places of constituency. So if at all the leaders, these are people that can listen to their leaders. If at all the leaders could be in front line in fighting this thing, as in we as the affected communities, the affected constituencies, we could be talking in one voice as leaders. Maybe we could have arrested this thing. And also about NPR, I'm winding up. About the NPR, you say that why the police cannot perform their duties. Where this thing happened, I visited the Koitilial attack place. And where, in fact, they came to the center, they terrorized everywhere. The one of the victims, by the name Edwin, he was killed opposite Koitilial Secondary School. And remember, there are students who are doing the examinations. The examinations are on. And the gunshots everywhere. And in the same place, police station is only 100 meters away. These people at their field day. In fact, they were even, if you add even the story, for those who maybe they survived the attack. In fact, they took their sodas, their lunches.
The attackers.
And the police they took like 2 hours in that center. Whoa. And there was no gunshot from the police station. So when we are calling for NPR, our people feel that it is better for someone that comes from that place. He can die because of his people.
They have
Right.
skin in the game.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
It is
Neddy.
not even about terrain. It is not even about knowing terrain or what. Remember the RC, the former RC, Mr. Natembea, himself, he said that these criminals are more powerful than even the government. Like, seriously?
Jokes. Neddy, thank you very much, Neddy Jeruto, for speaking to us. And also thank you very much to Timothy Charop. The conversation continues. We've been talking about the insecurity in Kerio Valley. You've just heard it from the horses' mouths. These are people who are living the experience of this insecurity on a daily basis. People in Koitilial Center, Timothy is from there. Neddy also visited the area. 80 people come and they rain terror in a place. They even have time to go into a shop, take soda, have soda, enjoy themselves, walk away with cattle, leave 2 people dead, leave 6 others injured, taken to hospital. Another one last week on Thursday, they see a woman who is tending to her livestock. They shoot her dead. As they go away, they call their opposites in the village and they tell them, "Nyinyi watu hata mpigani kelele siku hizi. We have killed someone. Can you go and pick her up?"
Imagine.
And just like Neddy was saying, in the Westgate attack or in these terrorist attacks, okay, you're talking about our intelligence service. Our intelligence service, whenever we are told by the government that they foil very many terror attacks, I believe them. Because of just those incidences where the unfortunate bit that one gets away and they get to hit us at Westgate, at 14 Riverside. 14 Riverside, people come and attack. They have evaded the security and intelligence apparatus up to the point they launch an attack. But by the end of the day, our security system is able to know exactly who has attacked us. Remember, the attackers were on a suicide mission. They're dying. They're not the ones who are telling the story. But by the end of the day, our security system is able to tell us, okay, so these are the people who attacked us. They came from a house in Ruaka. This is for how long they
Carrying
lived
out
there.
this kind of business within the mall.
This is what they were doing. On the day before the attack, they had met on Limuru Road, and these are how the people who facilitated them, the people who helped them to buy a car, the people who helped them. In fact, one of them was married, and this is the woman who. They are able to piece together everything within a matter of days. They can tell us who did it, how they got here, how they planned it, how they did it,
who their accomplices
were, and they arrest the accomplices. But in this particular case, we don't know who is selling arms. We don't know how the arms are being transported. We don't know how the arms are being distributed. We don't know who these people are who are sitting and planning attacks. They come in, they attack opposite a police station. They walk away with animals. We don't know who they.
And we cannot find them. The animals that they walked away with are 100 head of cattle, and we don't know how to, unless they were put in a vehicle. Even if they were put in a vehicle, we can't track where this vehicle came from. Where they were taken. These animals then, even if they were walking, they did not graze. Their tracks were not seen anywhere. Can't tell.
The best we can do is dig trenches.
You know, this falls in the category of things which are stranger than fiction.
Completely.
In a country like this one here, it isn't possible. It genuinely isn't possible to perpetrate a crime and not be known, or our security forces are that good. Our intelligence sources are that good.
No,
they're that good.
This is not for want of inability, or it's not for want of ability. That's what I'm saying. It is deliberate inaction.
It
is.
The thing that
you
bothers
can't explain
me,
it any other way.
and I can't really understand. What is it that hinders the CES in charge of the interior, the PS, the operators at the very top? What is this thing that is preventing them from doing what they need to do, and which they know they can do, and they can do,
and they know what needs to be done?
They know it better than us.
It is lack of desire.
You see, us here we're theorizing, we're listening. It's conjecture. We're putting together. Them they actually have actual knowledge.
They know. They know,
Yes.
but they choose not to do something about it.
That's
Why?
the question. Why?
Yeah.
See, that's the bother. Why?
Why would Matiang'i not actualize what he has promised?
Yes.
So this is what we're going to do. We are going to deploy police officers, 2 police officers per school. We are going to have NPR. I'm going to deploy anti-stock theft officers. We're going to increase the number of... We are going to do this, and the other. More than a month and a half later, it has not happened.
Why?
Why?
The business of conflict is sweeter than ending it.
But this one is a little more than just business. What is it that holds the
control.
hands? What
There's
is it?
control.
Again, I'm asking what is it that's holding the hands of the senior-most officers in charge of this ministry?
And these people, they haven't been in this position for long.
No.
Dr. Kibicho was not here in the 90s in this position.
No, he was not.
Matiang'i was not in this position in the 90s. He was not dealing with these conflicts. But then you can't just tell me that he has come in and he has been sucked into it. What big force is this?
What hinders them? Because
That comes and tells Matiang'i, you know what, those things that you've said,
Leave those things alone, my friend.
forget it. Apana. We want to say thank you to the audience on KT and Home. The conversations continue on SpiceFM in the next hour, and we'll open up the phone lines because we've got to discuss this openly and candidly.